When she said it, her voice didn't even tremble. No hesitation, no flicker of guilt. Just a calm, surgical tone that sliced through me like glass. "I feel nothing for you anymore, Ryan," she said. Not anger, not love, not even hate. Just nothing. The silence that followed was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. I looked at her, at Claire, searching for even a trace of the woman I'd once fallen asleep beside, the one who used to laugh at my dumb jokes and steal the covers. But her eyes were still, detached, as if she was watching a stranger beg for something she'd already buried. For weeks, I'd sensed the distance, the cold texts, the absent eyes at dinner, the way she'd sit across from me but scroll through her phone like the screen held her heart. I kept trying to fix it, telling myself every marriage hits rough patches. But that night, her words ended everything. She packed a bag the next morning. No fight, no shouting. Just quiet efficiency. "I'll send for the rest of my things," she said, standing by the door like she couldn't get out fast enough. When the door shut behind her, I didn't cry. I just stood there, staring at the faint scent of her perfume still hanging in the air. I thought grief would come like a storm. Instead, it was a slow burn, the kind that hollowed you from the inside out. The first few weeks were mechanical. Wake up, shower, work, pretend. Everyone around me tried to help. "You'll meet someone better," they said. But love doesn't vanish cleanly. It lingers like smoke after a fire, clinging to everything you touch. Still, life has a way of pushing you forward even when you dig your heels in. I started spending time at a small coffee shop near my office. The barista, a woman named Lena, had this calm, grounded presence. She didn't pry or offer sympathy. She just listened. Over time, we talked more about books, about work, about nothing in particular. It wasn't romantic, not at first. It was just human warmth in a place where everything had gone cold. Months passed, and something shifted. I started laughing again. Lena's laugh was soft but contagious. She had a way of finding humor in the smallest things, like how I always ordered the same drink or forgot my umbrella every time it rained. One evening, we stayed long after closing. The rain tapped against the windows, and I realized I hadn't thought about Claire all day. That moment scared me, but it also freed me. A week later, I ran into Claire downtown. She looked different, polished, confident, but her smile faltered when she saw me. Her eyes darted to Lena beside me, our fingers interlaced, the kind of quiet closeness that doesn't need words. "Ryan?" she said, her voice uncertain, almost trembling. I nodded. "Claire." Lena smiled politely, sensing the weight of the moment, and excused herself to grab something from a nearby store. The second she left, the silence between me and Claire grew sharp. "You look good," she said finally, but her eyes told another story. Regret, confusion, maybe envy. "You too," I said, though it wasn't true. There was something in her gaze that made her seem fragile, like she was realizing too late what she'd thrown away. She took a small step closer. "I didn't think you'd move on so quickly." "It wasn't quick," I replied. "It was just honest." Her breath caught. For the first time since that night, I saw the cracks in her armor. "I thought I needed space," she whispered. "Freedom. But everything feels empty now." I didn't respond. I'd imagined this moment 100 times, her realizing the weight of her choices. But standing there, all I felt was calm. No anger. No desire to hurt her back. Just a quiet recognition that the person she'd loved was gone, and the one standing before her didn't belong to her anymore. She blinked hard, trying to steady herself. "Do you ever think about us?" I met her eyes, steady and certain. "I used to, but not anymore." Her lips parted slightly, like she wanted to say something more, but no words came. The silence that followed was different this time. Less painful, more final. After that brief encounter, I thought it was over. A chance meeting, a few awkward words, and we'd go back to our separate lives. But Claire started appearing everywhere, subtle at first, then unmistakably deliberate. At the same cafe outside my office, even at the park where I jogged on weekends. She'd wave, pretend it was coincidence, and ask how I was doing. Kept it polite, short. But every time I could see it in her eyes. She wasn't there for small talk. 2 weeks later, she showed up outside my building as I was leaving work. The evening sky was washed in pale gold, the air still heavy with summer heat. She stood there in a soft blue dress, one I remembered from years ago. For a moment, I saw the ghost of the woman I used to love. "Can we talk?" she asked quietly. I hesitated, but something in her voice, fragile, almost pleading, made me nod. We walked to a quiet bench by the river. She clasped her hands, twisting a silver ring around her finger. "I didn't expect to see you with someone," she said finally. "It caught me off guard." "I didn't expect to see you either," I replied. "Life's full of surprises." She smiled faintly, but her eyes shimmered with something she was trying to hide. "You look happy, Ryan. Really happy. I thought I wanted that kind of peace when I left. I thought freedom would fix everything. But it didn't. It just made the silence louder." Her voice cracked, and she looked away, blinking rapidly. I sat still, unsure if I should offer comfort or let her face the truth she'd built for herself. "I thought I'd feel alive again," she continued. "But I only felt lonely. I tried dating, meeting new people, but it was never the same. They talked, but no one listened like you did. No one made me feel safe." For a moment, I almost pitied her. Almost. But then I remembered those long nights, sitting alone, wondering what I'd done wrong. The way she'd looked through me like I was invisible. And that pity turned into quiet resolve. "I did love you," I said softly. "But when you said you felt nothing, I believed you. I mourned you like someone who died. And now, I've learned to live without the ghost." Her chin trembled. "I didn't mean it, Ryan. I was angry. I was lost." I shook my head gently. "You meant it that night. And that's okay. Because it forced me to finally see myself outside of you." Tears welled in her eyes, and for the first time, I saw real regret. Not the kind people wear for show, but the raw, sinking kind that hits when they realize they've burned something they can never rebuild. "I see you with her," she said quietly. "That woman, Lena. You smile differently now. You look free. I never gave you that." There was no triumph in hearing it. No satisfaction. Just an aching kind of closure. "Claire," I said, "we both made choices. You chose to walk away and I chose to heal. We don't owe each other anything anymore." She nodded, tears spilling freely now. "I know. I just wish I'd realized what I had before it was gone." For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The river moved quietly beside us, the city lights flickering across the surface. When I finally stood to leave, she stayed seated, staring at the water like it might offer her the forgiveness I couldn't. That night, Lena called. Her voice was warm, grounding. She asked how my day was, and I told her about the meeting. She didn't ask for details, just listened. That's what I'd missed all along. Not fireworks or grand gestures, just quiet understanding. Later, as I sat beside her, watching her laugh at something simple, I realized something profound. Love doesn't always come roaring back in. Sometimes, it returns quietly, in small moments that remind you that peace can be louder than passion. Claire once said she felt nothing for me. Now, when she sees me, she feels everything she once ignored. Love, regret, loss, and I feel nothing at all. Because sometimes the truest revenge isn't anger. It's indifference. And that's exactly what she taught me by leaving.